It's coffee time. I am so excited because my mom and I, while I was home, I can't remember if I told you guys about this or not, but my mom and I, when I was home, we went through all of the photos that we have up on the wall. We have lots of, like, an old photo of my dad that I absolutely love, and, like, pictures of my grandparents, which I don't have any grandparents left anymore, and just lots of really cool pictures. A picture of when I was really little with my brother. They're just all so cute. And, oh, the other one that I love is this black and white photo of my sister when she was little with my dad's old dog. And it's just the coolest photo. And so my mom and I were talking, and she was like, do you have any photos of, like, the family? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure I do. And I went through all of the photos that I have, and most of them are from when I was in high school or college. Like, photos of my life, which is pretty cool, but I didn't really have many photos of the family. This is weird. I have one photo of my mom, but, like, half of her face is obscured. It's her in front of we had just put in a window, like a big wide window in our kitchen, because when I was younger, we had kind of a smaller window in there. And so when we were doing a bunch of work on the kitchen, we decided to put in a bigger window. So it was a picture of my mom sideways in front of the window, so the window is on this side. So, like, this side of her is lit, and the rest is just black, like just darkness. And it's a cool photo, but if somebody asked me what my mom looked like, I'd be like, like, try desperately to figure out how to show them what my mom looks like. So, yeah, so my mom and I were talking about it, and she was like, why don't we make a bunch of copies of the photos that you really like? And that way you'll have photos of, like, family and stuff in your apartment, because, you know, I think that that would be nice. And I was like, I think that that would be nice too. So we wound up making a bunch of copies of different photos that I just really love, and I'm really excited because I didn't bring them with me. I didn't bring them with me on the trip, like, back in my suitcase, because I was like, these are going to get crushed, they're going to get destroyed, knowing me and my luck. So my mom's going to be mailing them to me, and I'm very jazzed to get those. And I think that she's giving me a few others, like, there's a picture of my nieces with, like, face paint, like, when they were at a fair, and it's, like, the most adorable photo of them. So I'm getting that, and I'm getting a nice photo of my mom and dad together on a cruise, I think. Just lots of nice photos of family, and I'm very happy about that, because it's true. I have, you know, lots of pictures of video game and anime stuff all over my walls, but I don't have any, like, really don't have any photos of friends or family. And I was looking through the photos on my phone and on my desktop, and I was like, I have some photos on here that I would like to print out and frame too. I think that would be fun. So I'm just going to put more framed stuff up, but I think that'll be great. And I'm getting more bookshelves anyway, so I'll also have bookshelf space to, you know, put things, put photos up if I want. I totally, speaking of things that I'll need to find space for, I totally impulse bought the Kuroko no Basuke figurine that has not come out yet. It's on pre-order. I was on Crunchyroll, and it was like, hey, there's a new Kuroko figurine. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, that looks real dope. And then I just bought it. I was also going to buy the Mikasa figurine from Attack on Titan. That's super cool, where she just comes with, like, all of her maneuver gear and all this stuff and a stand, and the poses that they showed her in, I was like, oh my gosh, you can do so much with her, that's so cool, it's so dope. But it's out of stock, so I didn't get that. It's probably good, because otherwise I would have been like, I just blew so much money on figurines, but I think it'll be nice to have a little Kuroko. Erin was joking, well, it's probably not a joke. She was saying that every time she comes over, she's gonna pet it, and I was like, yeah, you can be like a good luck Buddha. You know, you just, like, you rub the Kuroko before and after you leave. Just, there we go. Good luck all day long. Huh, kitties? Kitten is playing with the drapes, which concerns me a little bit, but it concerns me for for future kitten, right? For when she's big enough that she can do that thing like in cartoons where she jumps up and claws into the drapes and just rips all the way down. That's what I'm imagining as my future. And I would be really sad if I came home from work and the drapes were just shredded, just destroyed. Although these are temporary drapes. These were free drapes. And they do the job, but they're not the color that I want. So I'm like, hey man, I'll use them until whenever, and then see if somebody else can use them once I get the color that I want. But brown works alright. Brown's alright. I love the color brown. I also love the color gray. Amanda, my sister-in-law, and I were talking about that when we were at Goodwill, because I guess on dance team they were all going around and saying what their favorite colors are. And Amanda was like, I really like gray. Everybody was like, gray? What? No, that doesn't count. She was like, yeah, it does. Gray's my favorite color. I like gray a lot. Which I thought was kind of cute. Gray and silver are synonymous in my mind, even though I know that they're not the same color. But I don't know. I feel like if you say, I really like gray, in my mind it translates to, I really like silver. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's a good color. But I really like gray too. I remember when I was a kid, I always wanted to have gray clothing. Like I wore black sweatshirts like every day. Black sweatshirts and t-shirts. And plaid overshirts. This is in Oregon. It's always raining. Plaid overshirts. And I kept trying to get... What are you doing? Hey, get out of there. You're precious, but get out of there. I kept wanting to get gray shirts, and my mom was like, they just don't look good on you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know, but I like them a lot. And now that I'm older, I'm like, they still don't look great on me, and I don't care. I like the gray shirts. But I've been branching out to other colors, you know. I've been wearing brighter colors sometimes. I don't want to say that. That's stereotyping, I guess. I was about to say other ladies will understand when I say that my other problem is some pairs of pants. Like, you can't just say that a pair of black pants will be slimming. That drives me nuts when people say that. Because I'm like, no, that's not always true. Sometimes you put on a pair of black pants and you're like, what happened to me? Like, it's interesting to me, just because we're talking about clothes. That's the only reason why I started thinking about this. Because I have a pair of black pants. Actually, they're kind of like dirty black. I don't know how to say that. They look kind of scruffy, I guess. But I got them when I did the Target thing. And everybody was like, oh, those pants look really good on you. But I don't really like them on me all that much. I'm okay with them as long as I have a longer shirt on. But I don't like them because, for whatever reason, they decided we're going to put extra fabric right on the hips. And I'm like, I feel like most people don't want their hips to look a lot bigger. I guess that's not always true. Some people would. I don't, though. I'm like, you know, I don't want that. I don't want to put on those pants and be like, why? Because I've come to terms with the fact that I'm a little bit pear-shaped and that I have the possibility of becoming even more pear-shaped. So sometimes when I put on those pants, I'm like, my goodness, I am a straight-up pear. I have turned into a pear. I might as well go join my pear brethren. I don't know where this is going. I was going to just continue on with it, and then I was like, stop. I do that all the time. Like, sometimes when we do Daily Bite, the story will basically have a written-in peter out. Like, just you know, just a ... where they say, just go on and talk. Just say whatever. And I'm like, okay. And every time they let me talk for way too long. And I'm like, are we done? Did I do it? Because I don't know how much longer I can talk about dog zombies. Because we've lost relevancy. Nothing makes sense anymore. Dog zombies, though, guys, right? Dog zombies. Anywho, we covered a good range of things today, I think. And I'd like to make it clear that I don't hate my body or anything like that. I don't want to imply that by what I was saying. But, you know, just everybody is very critical of themselves. And sometimes I just put on a pair of pants and I'm like, too big. My booty looks too big right now. Different pants. So that's all I'm trying to say. I was reflecting back on that and I was like, that might have sounded a little weird. It's still sounding weird. Whatever. I'm just going to go. But I love you all. I hope that you had an amazing day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah.